The wind rolled over the endless fields of barley like waves across a golden ocean. 17-year-old Emma Carter stood at the edge of the fence, wiping sweat from her forehead after a long morning of work. She wasn't weak. No one who grew up on the Carter family farm ever was, but she wasn't built for fighting either. Emma's world was animals, soil, tractor engines, and the quiet rhythm of rural life. But the world beyond those fields wasn't so gentle. Ever since high school started, a trio of boys, Jason Reed, Colt Barker, and Tyler Dean, had found pleasure in targeting the quiet farm girl. Sometimes they shoved her books from her hands. Sometimes they mocked her clothes or her worn-out boots. And sometimes they just stared at her like she was prey. Emma rarely complained. She didn't have to. Because she had a twin. Her sister, Emily Carter, had left for the military 6 years ago and never returned to live on the farm. She wrote letters occasionally, short ones, never saying much about where she was. But everyone knew she wasn't in any regular job. Recruiters had come to the farm, officers had visited her parents, and men with black SUVs sometimes dropped off sealed envelopes. Emily was a soldier, but not an ordinary one. Nobody knew the details, not even Emma, but they knew enough. She was in the kind of unit that didn't officially exist, deployed in places that didn't appear on maps. A phantom in the night, a rumor in the wind. A legend whispered through Special Forces circles. Delta Force. But no one at Emma's school knew that. To them, Emma and Emily were just sisters, one quiet and gentle, the other missing somewhere in the army. And today, the Bullies were restless. It started at the county fair. Emma had brought a basket of homemade pies to sell. Her mother had stayed home sick, and the money mattered. Their farm wasn't failing, but every dollar counted nowadays. She set up her booth, lined her pies neatly, and smiled at the families passing by. Then Jason Reed walked over. He slapped his palm onto her table so hard her pies jumped. "Well, look who's here," he smirked. "The little farm girl trying to act like she belongs." Emma didn't look up. "Please don't touch the table." Jason laughed and took a slice of pie without asking. "Hey, Colt, Tyler, free food." The other boys came over. They were bigger than Jason, thicker arms, harder faces. Colt Barker, already 20 though still repeating his senior year, picked up one whole pie, sniffed it, and with a wicked grin, flipped it upside down onto the ground. Emma froze. "That was for the church fundraiser," she said softly. "Please stop." Tyler Dean grabbed her wrist. "Make us." She winced, trying to pull back. They laughed at her struggle. People nearby saw, but no one stepped in. These boys were troublemakers, sons of influential families, bad news for anyone who pushed back. Emma wanted to scream. Then her phone buzzed. "Incoming, unknown number." She didn't answer. Tyler snatched the phone from her hand. "Hey, look, maybe it's your boyfriend," he teased. Jason laughed, as if anyone would want this scarecrow. They tossed her phone between each other, playing keep away, taunting her as her eyes filled with tears she hated to show. Then Jason answered the call. "Hello, you've reached the farm girl's phone. She's a little busy being." He stopped. A voice spoke from the other end, calm, cold, deadly. "Put my sister on the phone." The boys smirked. Jason put the call on speaker. "And who the hell are you?" he mocked. There was a pause. Then the voice repeated with a razor's edge. "Put my sister on." Jason laughed. "Make me." What came next wasn't a threat. It wasn't loud, but it made the hairs on everyone's necks rise. "1 hour," the voice said. "I'm already on my way." The call ended. The boys burst out laughing. "Ooh, oh, scary," Jason mocked. Emma wasn't laughing. She knew that voice. Emily was coming home. And when she came for someone, nothing in the world could stop her. The Carter farm was 6 miles away from the fairgrounds. Emma went home early, shaken. The boys had ruined half her pies, mocked her in public, taken her phone, and left her crying behind her truck before finally throwing it back at her feet. Her parents weren't home. They'd gone to the market in town. She was alone at the farmhouse when she heard the roar of an engine pulling into the gravel driveway. Emma rushed to the porch. A matte black motorcycle rolled to a stop, dust swirling around it. The rider removed her helmet. Emily Carter. Her hair was shorter now, cut military style. There was a thin scar across her eyebrow and her shoulders looked broader, stronger, harder. Her eyes, those eyes were no longer the soft blue Emma remembered. They were steel. Emma breathed. Emily dropped the helmet, took 3 steps forward and wrapped her arms around her. Emma sank into the embrace. Her sister smelled like dust, leather, and distant battles. "What did they do to you?" Emily asked quietly. Emma shook her head. "It's fine, just boys being stupid." "Emma," her sister said softly, "I can tell when you're lying." Tears finally spilled from Emma's eyes. She didn't speak. She didn't need to. Emily wiped her cheek gently with her thumb. "Who?" Emma hesitated. "Jason Reed, Colt Barker, Tyler Dean." Emily's jaw tightened. She didn't ask what happened. She didn't need details. Her baby sister was hurt. That was all she needed to know. "Do they still hang around that fair?" Emma nodded. Emily turned, picking up her helmet. "Get in the truck." "Emily, please," Emma whispered. "Don't hurt them." Her sister paused, eyes softening for a brief moment. "I didn't say I was going to hurt anyone." Emma exhaled with relief. "Not physically anyway," Emily added, voice low. That relief died instantly. At the fairgrounds, the boys were strutting around near the carnival rides, flirting with girls who weren't impressed and acting like kings of the county. They didn't see the black motorcycle until it slid to a stop inches from Jason's legs. He jumped back, cursing. Emily removed her helmet slowly, her eyes locked on him. Jason laughed. "Oh look, the farm girl's twin finally showed up. What are you gonna do, bake us a pie?" Colt barked a laugh. "You're smaller than I expected." Tyler scoffed. "And what's with the motorcycle, you trying to look tough?" Emily didn't answer. She stepped off the bike and walked right up to Jason. He smirked as she approached, right until she leaned in close, her lips almost touching his ear. "You touched my sister," she whispered. He swallowed. "And you made her cry." Jason stepped back, face paling. But bravado returned as his friends approached. "You think we're scared of you, you and your little farm boots." Emily didn't flinch. Instead, she lifted her shirt just enough to reveal a patch sewn into the inside edge of her waistband. A patch with a sword, an arrow, and the words that hit the boys like ice down their spine. "First Special Forces, Operational Detachment Delta." Tyler's mouth opened. "Is that real?" Colt blinked rapidly. "No way, no way." Jason stuttered. You're not." Emily took one slow step toward them. "You have 3 options," she said, her voice calm and terrifyingly controlled. 1, you apologize to my sister. 2, you apologize and compensate her for everything you broke. 3. She paused, then smiled faintly. "I let your parents know exactly who you harassed today, along with the sheriff, and your school board, and your employers, and the County Fair Association, and the Veterans Protection Office." Jason froze. "Veterans what?" "Oh, didn't you know?" Emily said softly. "Threatening or harassing the immediate family of an active special operations operator qualifies as a federal offense." All 3 boys went pale at once. Emily leaned forward, voice a razor's whisper. "And I have your voices recorded, every word." Tyler choked, but we didn't know." "You didn't ask," she said simply. Colt stumbled back, fear hitting him so hard his legs wobbled. Jason looked like he wanted to run but couldn't move. Emma watched from the truck, stunned. Her gentle sister was gone. Standing here was someone else entirely, still Emily, but carved into steel by years of danger, discipline, and darkness. "Now," Emily said, stepping back, "I'm going to give you 10 seconds to walk to my sister, apologize for everything, and pay her for the damages." The boys didn't hesitate. They ran, literally ran toward Emma. Jason tripped over his own feet on the way. Tyler shoved Colt aside just to reach her first. "I'm so sorry," Jason gasped. "We were stupid, really stupid. Please don't get us arrested. Here, take this." He shoved $50 into her hands. Colt added another 60. Tyler added 40. "We'll never bother you again," Jason promised, trembling. "We swear," Colt added. On whatever you want," Tyler said. Emma stared speechless. Emily walked over, picking up her helmet. "Good," she said simply. "Now go home." They went fast, as if their lives depended on it. Maybe they did. Back at the farm, Emma stood on the porch while Emily leaned against the railing, sipping lemonade like nothing had happened. That was intense." Emily smirked. "Was it? You scared them half to death." "They earned it." Emma hesitated. "Were you really going to report them?" Emily finally looked at her. "Emma," she said gently, "I've been deployed in 6 countries. I've dealt with men who hurt people because they think no one is watching, but bullies only understand one thing." "What's that?" "That someone stronger than them is watching." Emma exhaled slowly. She walked forward and hugged her twin again, tighter this time. "You always protect me," she whispered. Emily rested her chin on her head. "Always. Will you stay a while?" The hardened soldier smiled softly, the first real smile Emma had seen in years. "I've got leave." Emma brightened. "How long?" Emily shrugged playfully. "Long enough to remind this town that Carter girls don't get pushed around." Emma laughed through happy tears. And inside the fairgrounds, 3 boys sat shaking on a bench, swearing they had just met a ghost, a monster, a legend. A Delta Force shadow who came out of nowhere. To protect a farm girl no one else would protect. But that's what sisters do. And in the quiet fields of the Carter farm, the wind carried a new whisper. They picked the wrong twin.